Okay, so the question there is, what is actually changing on the 1st of March? Now, the rules towards provident funds are changing dramatically. Okay. Firstly, the difference between a pension and a provident fund was, if you retire from a provident fund, you had the option to take everything in cash. Please note, I'm talking when you retire from the fund only. Okay. Provident fund, you could take everything in cash. After 1 March, anything in your fund that you build up after that date will be subject to the same rules as a pension fund. So, in other words, when you retire, I can take only 1/3 of that money in cash. 2/3 I still get, but I have to use it to go and buy a pension. Now, firstly, people think that I then get a state pension. That's not the case. You can still take your 2/3 to Old Mutual, to Allan Gray, to any insurer out there to give you that monthly pension. Okay. What happens with that money when I die is a typical following up question, and that depends on what type of annuity you buy. So when you get to that decision, that's when you need to really sit down with a financial planner or a financial advisor to help you choose the right annuity for you. Because remember, that annuity has to pay you an income until you die, and then depending on what annuity you've purchased, they can pay an amount to your beneficiaries. But it depends on what you buy, and you as a member still make that choice. Okay. Now that is all monies that's built up after 1 March. The monies in the fund as at the 29th of February is not subject to the new rules. So that money you can still take in cash. Okay. What will happen practically for a Provident Fund member, and all the administrators have geared up their systems, is that you will basically have 2 member records. You will have 1 member record before 1 March, and you'll have a new member record after 1 March. The old record will still continue to grow with investment returns, but you won't be contributing to that record anymore. Okay, so when you retire, they know exactly what was before 1 March and what will be after 1 March. So they'll know what rules to apply where. If a Provident Fund member is older than 55 at 1 March, the change does not affect them at all, and they can still take everything in cash. Another huge difference for a Provident Fund member, which strangely enough nobody's mentioned in the newspapers, is from 1 March, your take-home pay will increase because you now get a tax deduction on your member contributions to the fund. In other words, if you were contributing 100 Rand a month to the fund, that 100 Rand will be deducted from your salary before your salary is taxed. So you'll pay slightly less tax, which means you take home slightly more money going forward. So that's the biggest change.
The University of Johannesburg. Rethink, reinvent.